Lewis Hamilton is getting set for the 100th time from pole position in the Spanish Grand Prix. Heading into turn 1, Max Verstappen overtakes Hamilton for the lead. Lap 25, Verstappen calls himself into pit, wanting to change from soft tires to medium. Was a little delayed because they did not have the tires, but they did a great job, made up for some lost time. Lap 29, Hamilton comes on to pit for the first time, was able to keep hold of second place. On lap 43, Hamilton comes in for his second pit stop, comes out in third place. With fresher tires, he's en route to Verstappen. He overtakes teammate Valtteri Bottas for second place. Two-stop strategy looking good. Let's take a look at heading into lap 60. Hamilton has Verstappen right in his sights. Hamilton, get ready for this, Mark, overtakes Verstappen for first place. It's a lead he would not relinquish. Hamilton's 98th career victory, 5th straight in Spain, 59th pole-to-pole win, and his 3rd of the season. Did somebody say GOAT? Because I did. Hamilton won the Spanish Grand Prix by almost 16 seconds over second place Max Verstappen. Valtteri Bottas rounds out the podium, coming in 3rd place. Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez round out the top 5. So let's hear from Hamilton on his rivalry with Verstappen.
I love it. I mean, honestly, I love it. I'm really enjoying the battle with him. We're learning a lot about one another and each other's cars, I'm sure, and the way we battle. And turn 1's always exciting between us. So, but there's good respect there, and long may it continue.
Now that sea of orange had a lot to cheer about. Max Verstappen sitting on the pole. Lewis Hamilton looking to snap a 4-race winless streak. Picking up on lap 4. A little bit of bumping going on. Rubbin's racing, right? Lando Norris forcing Sergio Perez off the track, who fell all the way back to 10. It was really hard to tell if that was just racing. Either way, Norris did get a 5-second penalty for his action. Moving ahead to lap 41, Perez commits some penalties of his own. That looks pretty familiar, bumping Charles Leclerc. And that led to a 5-second penalty for him. He did it 6 laps later, got another 5-second penalty. Pretty amazing. Later on in the race, Hamilton sitting in second, but suspected car damage from going over the curbs as Mercedes making a decision, and Valtteri Bottas gets to go ahead to race against Hamilton and now moves into 3rd place. Lap 53, Norris has an opportunity to pass Hamilton as well. Hey, you know what? You see the weakened animal and you go right at him. Norris getting in 3rd for his 4th podium ever. Verstappen now on a 3 straight win streak for the first time in his career. First driver not driving for Mercedes with such a streak since Sebastian Vettel for Red Bull back in 2013. 25th driver in F1 history to win the pole, lead wire to wire, and have the fastest lap. Amazing for Max. So here's confirmation of the Austrian Grand Prix top 10. Verstappen won by an 18-second margin over second place Bottas, even with an extra pit stop. Big movers were Sainz in 5th from 10th on the grid, and Ricciardo 7th from 13th on the grid. Talk to me, Max. Mad Max making it look easy, adding to his lead atop the World Championship standings. Now 32 points clear of the 7-time champ Hamilton. Verstappen's Red Bull teammate Sergio Perez coming in 3rd. Outstanding stuff for him. Verstappen's really loving his team at this point.
Hello everyone, this is the Casual Fan. Lewis Hamilton is facing arguably his toughest challenge in his career, and at the moment things don't look good for him. He's 32 points behind Max Verstappen, hasn't won a race since the Spanish Grand Prix, and to be fair, if it wasn't for some luck that has fallen his way early in the season, the deficit to Max Verstappen was going to be much bigger. In a season like this, with Hamilton chasing what would be a record-breaking 8th world title, I do feel that Hamilton needs to win the British Grand Prix if he has any hope of staying in the title contention this season. The 2021 season has been a strange season in so many ways. Mercedes is not a dominant force. Red Bull has challenged and even defeated Mercedes on multiple occasions. However, arguably the biggest differentiator for Red Bull has been their driver. Max Verstappen has been the best driver on the grid in 2021. And all this while he has eclipsed Hamilton in terms of performance. Something that we would not have expected at the start of the season. Verstappen has consistently kept the pressure on the Mercedes driver, and while doing that, he has been able to draw unforced errors from Hamilton. Max, on his part, is yet to have an off weekend this season, while there are multiple races where it is fair to say that Hamilton could have done much better. For a competitor like Hamilton, who thrives on being the best on the Formula One grid, this disparity in terms of performance would not be acceptable, and he would be disappointed by that. The last time a Mercedes was on pole was the Spanish Grand Prix. The last time a Mercedes won a race was at the same weekend. Since then, Max Verstappen has won 4 of the 5 races, with Sergio Perez winning at Baku. As a team, and even as an individual, both the Red Bull and Max Verstappen have dominated the reigning world champions. To make things worse, this is the biggest losing streak Mercedes has been on since the 2013 season, and the pressure is on them to bounce back and make this championship a fair fight. The British Grand Prix is the home race for Lewis Hamilton, and the circuit is expected to have a huge capacity of fans cheering for him in the grandstands. If the combination of Mercedes and Lewis Hamilton is not able to deliver this weekend, then that could be a huge disappointment for the team and would be a cause of concern, as the next race at Hungary should ideally favor Red Bull. Now, arguably the most anticipated aspect of the weekend, other than of course the sprint race, is going to be the much talked about upgrade package that is going to be introduced by Mercedes. During the Styrian Grand Prix, Toto Wolff had alluded that there weren't going to be any more developments made to their 2021 Challenger. This was, well, for the lack of a better word, contradicted by Mercedes themselves when they revealed that they would be introducing quite a substantial upgrade package at Silverstone to counter the methodical upgrades that can be found on the Red Bull every other weekend. This upgrade package has to be substantial enough for the Mercedes to close the gap to Red Bull that has looked like the better car in the last few races and has contributed to Mercedes realistically not being in contentions for wins on a regular basis. The performance from this upgrade package would be pivotal for the Mercedes 2021 championship campaign's success or failure, because if Mercedes is not able to close the gap to Red Bull at Silverstone, then the gap between Max and Lewis Hamilton that currently stands at 32 points would start to reach uncomfortable margins for Mercedes to overhaul. On a personal note, one thing that was quite surprising to see at Austria was the deflated demeanor carried out by the Mercedes unit. Be it Toto Wolff or be it Lewis Hamilton, the team appeared to have no answers for the pace and relentless nature with which Red Bull has approached the championship, and during the weekends, it appeared that Mercedes willingly conceded defeat to Red Bull at a very early juncture of the race. It's hard to understand why, but one of the reasons could be the consecutive losses that the Mercedes outfit has been suffering since the Spanish Grand Prix. This is a team that had not gone without a win for 4 consecutive races since 2013. That was 7 years ago. This season it has suffered for 5 consecutive races and is going through an uncharacteristic barren run. It does appear that the consistent failure to challenge the Red Bull seems to be having an effect on the morale, and they are in a dire need of a victory to get back in the game. Another loss at the British Grand Prix would mean an unprecedented 6th defeat in a row for Mercedes and further drop the shoulders at the German unit. Although, yes, the 2021 season is especially long and a DNF here and there could completely change the title picture, momentum is one of the most crucial things in Formula 1. And if we see another weekend where Red Bull and Max Verstappen are able to win, then the championship balance for the 2021 season would tilt heavily in favor of Red Bull and Max Verstappen. Losing out against Red Bull for the 6th consecutive weekend would make it next to impossible for the Mercedes team to bounce back and come back in the championship. And that's why Lewis Hamilton needs to win the British Grand Prix if he wants to stay in contention for the 2021 title challenge. So these were my views. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and goodbye until next time.